Hello and welcome to a wrestling figure news kind of mood. Yes, I said a wrestling figure news kind of mood because I got my good friend Travis Moody here from a toy kind of mood. And every other week, we are going to do a wrestling figure news kind of mood. And what is that? It is a bi weekly recap of figure news, pickups, and whatever we want to talk about. So let's bring him in. What's up, Travis?
What's up, man? This is I mean, I've been dreaming of this opportunity here because, a toy kind of mood. It's a lot of Joes that hang out over on our side and I got the love for wrestling and it was cool to actually talk about wrestling with the GI Joe Hasbro team. So, thanks everyone for watching that interview. That was great. But this also gives me an opportunity to talk about my other love than just GI Joe, and that's pro wrestling, sports entertainment, and wrestling figures. And I can't do it without you, man. So thanks so much.
I appreciate that, but I'm always happy to talk wrestling with you. And I'm always happy to talk wrestling with other folks because I was just on Nick Storm and Sam Figs, I think it is, their Figure Friday. So go check out that episode. And also, I wanted to shout out the Case Fresh podcast because they also shouted out my podcast, Wrestling Figure News. Um, they just started. It's Fig Heel and Fig Vault, so check them out. They've done a couple of episodes already, and they've been pretty great.
Cool. So I'll jump in there because Case Fresh Prod, I listened to all three episodes pretty much in their entirety because I got long commutes to work. Lots of traffic on the 405 here in sunny Los Angeles, California. So yeah, thanks to Fig Heel and Fig Vault. Nice, fun podcast, different things. And then also shout out to Nick Storm because I had a blast actually last night putting together the slides for the video version of this show last night, watching your appearance with Sam and Nick, and it was a lot of fun. You guys are crazy. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, I mean, on this, I love it. You're the host, and it's a video on my channel, so that's cool. I get to chill, but still put together all the fancy pictures for those who love the video. So it's a total tag team effort, a double top rope elbow of audio and video.
Yeah, so let's get into what's been going on today, which is Saturday, and that's WWE Backlash in Lyon, France. And Adventures into Collecting, they do this cool premium live event thing where they pick an attire or three attires each of some of the looks that we got to see during these premium live events, and I'm sure they'll do this again. And I know you put together some slides with that, and very much I want to give credit to them where credit is due, and not try and steal their thunder. But having just seen this, is there anything that jumps out of you, Travis, that we just saw?
Well, first of all, this show is promoted and sponsored by Prime. Now we have the toy version of it all. And we'll talk about our top picks later in the show, but as far as picks for Backlash, I mean, first, how could we not just talk about Tangaloa? I mean, seeing him wrestle, right, in a tag match. I mean, it's not that great gear. It's pretty plain and basic, but just seeing him and you just want the figure no matter what, right?
Yeah, but I would gravitate right toward that solo too because we haven't seen him in boots yet, and I think that that's a cool attire. There's a top picks figure that's coming that's a rework of what we already saw or what we already got. I can't remember what series that was. It's in the early 100s, but this is a new look for him that I think that is going to be a must down the road.
Mhm. Absolutely. Moving on past that, we got to talk about his brother. He's just in street gear, but everyone loves street gear. I mean, look at the Monday Night War set with Kevin Nash. Everyone's raving about that, or almost everyone raving, and he's pretty much wearing this except kind of a dress shirt. So just getting the Gorillas of Destiny there. But I want to ask you, how do you feel about the opportunities? And this is kind of a question more like for Ozer and Makina, shout out to them, but like with all this stuff, is it like copywritten to New Japan Pro Wrestling or what?
I think it depends on if they wear that attire in WWE, whether they can use it or not. I thought you were gonna say you're excited about a flashback Camacho figure.
Nice. But no, I mean, I think these are totally toyetic. I mean, even with those kind of skull-looking Power Ranger helmets that they went in their kind of their evolution, almost their LOD 2000, if you will. But their OG gorillas look kind of like the Usos back in the day with the paint and everything, head shrinker vibe. But man, these would be sick. So, it just depends on a lot of the rights and the copyrights and what exactly WWE owns.
For sure.
What do you think of this gear from Damien? Some people like his the wolf Mortal Kombat, the Night Wolf look instead of this one.
I don't know, man. We're already getting the Skeletor look and some others. So, I mean, they're going to make a lot of Damian Priest figures. They're going to make a lot of Jey Uso figures while they're at it, too. And I don't know. I thought it was a fine attire, just not too radically different than what we've already seen.
For sure. And then, gotta shout out my girls. And there's no secret, Bill making Bill sweat over these. And we got a Kyrie coming. That Asuka on the right isn't all too different, right, from the Ultimate Edition. But on the left, man, that's far more than an elite, especially when you get into that soft goods robe, which man, this might outdo the Ultimate Ashka.
That's pretty nice. Yeah, Kyrie was definitely a standout. That match was terrible, by the way. Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, speaking of terrible, they allowed Jade in the ring too much, but in my opinion, is that what you're thinking? They just made her look kind of green out there. They let her out there to die a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they sort of missed the boat on treating Jade and Bianca like the Road Warriors. They kept calling them superheroes, and that has never went well for anyone really, like other than John Cena, probably. Like, ask Ricochet what it was like to be called a superhero. But yeah, like just left Jade out there a little too long, I think, and they got lost, and it took 3 to 5 minutes to get it back together, and it was kinda
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah, once I mean, I thought before that moment and after that moment is fine, but as far as figure, I mean, she's toyetic. I mean, you get the puffy, shiny jacket here, the gear that she kind of tossed to the side, and then obviously she just looks dynamic. I mean, I love the new hair look, very Storm like X-Men. I mean, how you feeling this?
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I always thought that Jazwares did her justice too. Like, she was a must purchase for me every time out, and, I mean, this is a fine look. So, I mean, I still sort of hold those Jazwares figures in high regard. I think the 2 that stood out to me, one was the Cody look, which is just always a variation, so I could totally see a top picks figure of that down the line, and the other is Tiffany Stratton. She is very toyetic, I think, and I think they're gonna sell a lot of figures of Tiffany Stratton.
For those watching the video portion, up in the upper right, I got to shout out my dude, Baldy Locks Reviews, one of the co-hosts of A Toy Kind of Mood. He threw together our two logos, and because the colors are so similar, it blends in seamlessly. So a wrestling figure news kind of mood every other week. And this is episode one for us. It's like episode 1,000 for you. You're killing it every week with amazing guests. And I mean, I guess we should say like future episodes when we're not so hit with a PLE or pay-per-view or like a lot of, like you said, the name of this episode is Ringside Has Broken Me financially and spiritually. It's probably, hopefully, not going to happen every week, right?
I would hope that ringside wouldn't break me financially and spiritually every week, but yes, that's what I titled this episode because it was a week of just relentless pre-orders. I think that a total of 7 went up, and it was a lot. Like, I gotta ask John to, give us a little bit of a break, and we always get sort of these lulls, but then when they hit, and this was a tough one for me because it included WWE Elite 111, and that includes the first figure of the Sandman. And what great timing, because the Sandman was he was featured on Dark Side of the Ring, second to last episode of the season. And did you watch this?
Oh yeah, last night I had to. I had watched This is my go to bed show. So sometimes I'll just watch like 20, 30 minutes, but it's so good that I don't really fall asleep. I kind of like force myself, like I better go to sleep or I'm not going to wake up for work. So I watched like 20, 30 minutes the night before and finished it last night. And went to bed really late, but it was exciting and great. What'd you think?
I thought it was another great show. I think they've really done well this season. They've made characters that you would think would not be that interesting, very interesting. I mean, they had an episode about Chris Colt. I had no idea who Chris Colt was, and I thought that show was fascinating. The Sherry Martel was very good. I can keep going, but I think
Right.
none of those other characters are in this line, and the one that stands out to me is the regular edition Sandman. And I heard Bill say that they really tried to get the look of the Sandman from the ECW, the music. I guess it was a CD at the time, and yeah, I think they're on outside of not having a cigarette in his mouth.
Mhm. No, it's awesome. I came very close to pre-ordering it. Didn't I like I saw John actually in person. Shout out to John from Ringside. I was he was down from Mattel Toy Fair and we were able to get dinner with some of the Mattel folks later and I was just like, man, you're killing our wallets, breaking our banks. I couldn't pre-order anything this time, but down the line. And then every day I look and I add stuff to my cart. I think about it. Like I've got so many figures. Like during Backlash, I opened a bunch of stuff that we'll talk about later. But it's just like when I have piles of boxes, I'm like, I can't put another 100, 200 plus like into a pre-order as much as I love this stuff. But I'm happy to talk to you about it though right now. And I'm sure when we're done, I'm gonna just order them anyway.
Yeah, this was a set that I ended up ordering the full set except for the Chase Sandman, which was the only one that I noticed went on back order in Elite 111. And the rest of the set, Trish Stratus, a very classic look for her. Cody Rhodes, I can't remember which attire that's from. I don't think it's the Royal Rumble. I think that's the top picks figure. A Ricochet from I think when he wrestled Logan Paul. Finn Balor, another Judgment Day look, and then Tony D'Angelo from NXT. So I think it was a solid set. You get a mix of new characters, old characters, maybe a little too soon for, another Finn, but I'll take it.
Well, this is the Cody show, and aptly so. With Backlash, there's going to be a lot of Cody from the news, the pre-orders, the images, and our pickups, of course. But do we really need this? I mean, I guess that he's kind of like that pillar now, like your Cena or your Roman Reigns, which we're going to get 1,000 more Roman Reigns as well. But he's kind of that pillar that's going to be in a lot of these waves, isn't he?
He is, and if you remember the early days of the Jazwares line, they were people giving Jeremy shit all the time for putting out Cody's over and over and over, and there's a reason that they did it because Cody sells, and they're
Mhm.
doing it again. Mattel's following that playbook, and they don't have to be told to follow that playbook. They've got enough spots for them, whether it's mainline, elite, exclusives to ringside or top picks, whatever it is. And now ultimate editions were, the moratorium after the Mattel Creations release is over. So we're getting a full string of Cody's, and that is a 5-star figure, I'll tell you. The new Ultimate 21 Cody.
Oh yeah. And but do you have this as part of your pickups later on?
Yep.
Well, I
Times
mean, we could
two.
always
When Ringside says, it's on back order and it might ship in mid-May, there's some hesitation there, but they shipped them out in mid-April. So props to
so
them.
they're just watching their ass then,
They're,
basically.
they're
They don't
totally
want to.
being
Yeah.
cautious. And,
Yep.
sometimes that'll be the case where it'll actually be that late, but you never know. So it's worth taking the chance if you miss out.
And I do want to mention, as you see with the ticker at the bottom, that Wrestling Figure News podcast is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart. Where else can they listen to you?
All over. Yeah, I tried to get it on all the podcast platforms. So yeah, I think I pretty much got all the options out there that I could.
Yeah. It becomes real useful. A lot of people, like, when we did the interview, they're like, "What were the name what were the reveals?" And I'm like, "Why don't you watch the video?" But, not everyone has that opportunity, but at least with this show, we will have the audio and we will share it. And I became a big fan of your show and your website, and that's how we connected. We were able to share a pint in person, and here we are. I'm real excited, man. I can't thank you enough. It's gonna happen a lot tonight until it's
Yeah,
over.
that's awesome. Yeah, and speaking of Ultimate Editions, Ultimate Edition 22 went up. That's John Cena, Jey Uso, and Gunther. For me, this is a 2 out of 3 set. Gunther was a must, and then it was Cena. I think that it's way too soon for another Jey Uso after that Ringside exclusive. I know that not everybody shops at Ringside, and so having this at retail is sort of a different story, but I don't know. I mean, this is the one that, like, I think I told you before, it kinda broke me on being a completionist with the, Ultimate Edition line.
Yeah. It's just a lot. I mean, and plus it's behind. So, I think it's an interesting mix, and I think they do everything for a reason, right? So,
Mhm.
again, I didn't pull the plug on these, and none of them are on back order yet. I mean, I checked the website last night and early this morning, so things could have changed. But I think also the price of the Ultimate Edition. I get, like, you're gonna get them first from Ringside, and obviously Ringside has to pay more to be in that position then, and they're not a big box retailer where they can order, severe bulk. So I totally understand why some of these are $38 and $40, but these don't seem like ones that are going to be very hard to get at mass retail. Like, definitely go get it if you're as hardcore as us. Definitely grab them at Ringside, support Ringside. You're gonna get them months early. You don't have to hunt, you don't have to wait in line, all that stuff. You're gonna get it mint and box most of the time, and if you don't, he's gonna replace it for you. But yeah, it's just like, sometimes, the price. If you want to play the long game, I don't blame anybody for these three.
Yeah, I mean, it's a set where Gunther, like I said, it was a must for me, but and that Cena, wow, jacked to the gills, man. But,
Yeah, a lot of people had problems. I mean, we're getting the Eddie Guerrero Monday. What is it? Ruthless Aggression? Eddie Guerrero Monday Night War.
it's a
Ruthless
Monday Night
Aggression.
War one that's
Is it
coming
Monday Night
later,
War?
yeah.
No, I'm talking about the one with this torso. What was that one that
Yeah, that
that
was the Ruthless Aggression one.
Ruthless Aggression Eddie, and then this is kind of like the Bobby Lashley, and like it's a Kurt Angle. It was too much for Kurt Angle because Kurt Angle's kind of got like a Cody build, so that was another reason. We'll talk about that Cody figure, but that's another reason why it's great. But yeah, some of the torso choices on this, but I mean, Cena's always been pretty jacked, but this is, yeah, he looks like a cartoon character with this torso in a way.
N Not at this point. Plus, I don't think we're getting the bald spot. So, no Galoob, Arn Anderson look for him.
Mhm. Yeah, you're right. So there's a look at the packaging. It looks funny how they're doing when I do some of my reviews, I notice on the back of the packaging, it's almost like 2K. They're kind of digitizing some of the figures to look like it's now that they're in the 2K video game.
They do a
Um,
really incredible look or work of, posing the figure and figure photography on the back of these always. So, I'm always impressed by those.
Even in the shirt, do you think he looks too jacked?
Yeah, I think so. It's riding up where it looks like turtleneck a little bit on him. Yeah, I
Do
didn't
like
notice he's got the, towel in the back, but
just
yeah.
you read my mind. You read my mind. Exactly. Yep. Nailed that. And then Gunther, they nailed his torso because he's more lean. He's the lean Austrian fighting machine now at this point. He's not the kind of the bigger guy that we saw in NXT. And that soft goods robe is really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very good soft goods robe. So, yep.
And we get the title as well, and that's a nice looking. I don't think I even have that title. Who else would have that title in action
A
figures?
lot of guys.
And then this is it. Like we said, we don't. He's got all the updated tats. I think that's the thing with J two is like a lot of complaints about the tats, and now we're getting the updates. But again, the gear isn't. So here we go, Survivor Series.
Yeah, this Survivor Series, again, this was one that surprised me because it went on back order until September for the full set, which I thought was kind of a surprise. but there's a big demand apparently for these bushwhackers with the doink heads, but they do have the alternate heads, so you're getting those. Also, the Bloodline Sami Zayn figure that we've all been waiting for, and then I think it's War Games Kevin Owens there with the Dusty Rhodes shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nailed it. Crazy that this went on back order though. I mean, I'm kind of surprised. Maybe they didn't have a lot. I don't know. I don't see maybe it's the Bushwhackers because they're tag team. Why do you think it's on like back order number 3 at
I think
ringside?
I think it went there because we haven't received Bushwhackers in so long. These are two figures that probably have been, you know, what, 12, 14 years? Maybe it was the start of the line when they first released that tag team 2-pack, which I think was a Toys R Us exclusive. So I could see where the demand would come in for them because we haven't had them. And then you're getting the updated articulation on them. So, yeah, and I think they sort of look like, the Hasbro figures at the second wave of figures.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I love the Bushwhackers as a kid. Actually, that was my sister's favorite wrestler. She was not so into wrestling. You had to watch it because of me, but she got into the Bushwhackers at one point. But again, we're kind of like getting dated, like with, Jey Uso, we're kind of dated with the Sammy. But I think, what do you think? You think it's Pierce that everybody wants, that they're
It
buying
is.
the whole wave?
Yep, it's
Yeah,
Adam Pearce, but I
yeah.
don't think that's the reason that this wave it went on back order. So I really do think it's the Bushwhackers.
Well, shout to New Zealand
Yeah,
from down under,
the
unbelievable. So,
herders or whatever they were in the NWA.
yeah, the hardcore team, and then they become these lovable, lickable guys. So,
And then you've got it up there too. It's the elite top picks that we mentioned, and I think that they are going to stay. They usually are sort of photo accurate with these graphics that they choose, and I hope they are. I think that's the Royal Rumble Cody Rhodes there. Then you've got the updated Solo Sokoa, which came from an earlier wave. Just they're giving him that bigger torso, and then Workout Rock.
Workout Rock. Yeah, everybody wants the final boss. So that's why The Rock was the only one not to go on pre-order number 2, I think. I think you can still get him in June. The other two are delayed till July, I believe.
Just shows the demand for Cody out there right now.
Crazy, right? So the whole, The Rock came back to save the WWE, but he didn't need to. They have Cody.
Yeah, I think that it might have worked the other way around. So you've got the main event series that's also coming out, and it's becoming sort of a pattern where if you've got a woman in the series, the woman is almost always a sellout. And this is the case again with Maxine Dupree. So she is sold out at ringside. Even the full set looks to be gone at this point. And Eddie Guerrero also, I think, was a hot seller there. But then you're getting well, not so basic anymore, but main events Cody,
Hmm.
Miz, and
Yeah.
Sheamus.
Yeah, because now you're getting the added articulation. I'm not sure. I forgot what the jump was. It was like 11 to 16 or 9 to something like that. I don't know. It went up 5 points or 6 points of articulation.
Yeah. So
The leg swivel, and then you could bend the knees and the leg swivel and stuff like that. The
they're
hips,
so
move the
much
hips.
better. So much better
Yeah.
than that T crotch. So I don't blame people
Oh,
from
yeah.
jumping on the bandwagon on these. And then you've got a top picks wave with Seth Rollins, Dominic Mysterio, and LA Knight. And they're showing LA Knight on that preview in street gear. And I don't know if that's going to be photo accurate, but man, that would definitely get some dollars.
Yeah. That's all I got. All right.
And then, yeah, you're right there. You've got the Mattel Creations Legends of the Territory wave. We finally got the release date for that. It's May 15th. So very soon. It's got Harley Race with the Territory Championship, not the NWA Championship. Superstar Billy Graham with the WWF Championship. Muhammad Ali in street gear, and Gorilla Monsoon. So is this something you're interested in?
Well, I did request review request this from Mattel Creations, so we'll see if that comes to fruition because it would be a really fun trip down memory lane to see this. And I'm a big fan of deluxe packaging. This is not exactly my era. This is before my time. I mean, maybe it was going on when I was still born, but like, yeah, I just was not exactly that. Oh, WrestleMania 1 or pre-WrestleMania. It's the territories, right? So pre-WWE. So it's got pre-WWF. So not really my time, but I'd love to explore it and maybe go back and watch some of the matches and include that info into reviews in the future. And I love the packaging. You and I talked about this on the phone, just in a casual conversation. Like, do you throw away your boxes? I asked you, and like we both agree this is the kind of packaging that if we don't display it, we're at least going to keep.
Oh yeah, it's keeper packaging. I love that old style match card look
Mhm.
that they
Oh,
have.
it's so great. Yep, and the slipcase cover, right? And we'll talk about the Jazwares vault later, I'm sure, but this is very similar to that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. But yeah, looking forward to
Oh,
it. And then these are a travesty of justice.
I
Some of
don't
them
know.
are.
Main event showdown 18, the two packs, the Seth Rollins in there. The biggest issue, it's a two pack with Braun Breaker that I have is that attire is should have been an elite, should have been an ultimate. I think people have been calling for it for a while, and then it
Mhm.
ends up in the main event wave. And I understand that they have to split some of these things, but man,
Yeah.
that should definitely
Mhm.
be one of the premium waves and one
Yeah.
of the
But it'll
premium
get
lines.
right, but it'll get you excited that it's coming, right? It's just this is, if those who want to, again, we talked about the long game, and some people are just going to want the look right away, even with the missing like other 8 or 9 points of articulation. But at least for those who are dying to get this design, they can get it, and it's not going to break the bank buying a main event. I mean, it is a 2 pack, but at least you'll for the price of one elite, you'll get 2 figures or something like that, right?
No, and this is one that, we talked about some of the main event heads being better than the elite. And I think that that might be the case with the Seth Rollins. I think that the hair was painted maybe a little bit better. It shows it in a few other photos. And, I'm not so down on some of the duller championships like this new world heavyweight championship belt.
Mhm.
I'm kind of intrigued at, the basic version of that because I don't think that they're that bad, usually. I kind of dig those.
For sure, man. Let's see what else we got here. We got the Kane and Mankind.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting a lot of this Kane and a lot of this Mankind. So, if you see it, fine. It's fine. We can skip it, And
Well,
then
this
you've
we
got
gotta talk about because we got Giant Dominic and Little Rhea.
yeah, like I don't know, man. Like I'm gonna Google real quick. Dominic Mysterio height. He's six
And
one.
I'll Google Rhea Ripley height while you do that.
Yeah.
5'7". Rhea Ripley's 5'7".
So he does have some height on her, but I think everybody's like, he's not that
Still a
tall.
whole foot taller. I mean, it just looks like an NBA player next to like, a hockey player or something. It just doesn't. It
I
looks
don't know
off.
that it is the Triple H body, the like street gear body from one of these previous main event waves, but it's kind of looking that way to me. Like I'm kind of like, is that just some reuse going on here? So maybe not. I don't know. That's just me eyeballing it.
It's cool. I mean, if we had more of a current Rhea hairdo, I'd be more interested in the set. But it does, the shirts are cool and everything like that. The face sculpts are, at least I think. I mean, the Dominic face sculpt looks pretty good, but I don't know. I don't mess with these, but I do love the fact that the main event is going to appeal to the kids and the collectors now, where I think it's more going to be more collector heavy, but now the kids can pose them better with the added articulation. So I did definitely give kudos to what Mattel's doing with these.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of the images that we saw, and some of this is finally getting to see some better looks, at figures that have been up for pre-order for a while, and that's always sort of the dangerous game that we play as collectors when these go up for pre-order and you don't see them. And Mattel is doing a lot of reuse lately, and it shows up in that Ultimate Edition Best of wave, and it's the Amazon Rock that was previously very hot on the secondary market, and then they released that Target figure, and it kind of cooled a little bit, and now they're giving you basically the same figure, and you're getting that Brahma Bull shirt. I can't tell for sure whether some of the heads have gotten a little bit more deco or not, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think it looks great. I'll probably eventually end up getting it, but yeah, they're leaning very heavily into reuse.
Question for you, and it's over there somewhere. It's behind me, and try to get the ring set up for next time we do the show. But those tights on the Rock, are they the exact same, or did they add red? Were
I
they
think
red last
they're
time?
I'm pretty yeah, I'm pretty sure
Okay,
it's pretty much straight up,
just
except with
added
the
the
butterfly
butterfly.
joints. Yep.
Yep, yep. Added the butterfly joints. So, yeah, the face prints look great. You know, the DIJ, True Effects technology and everything. The sunglasses, sadly, are still like they just need to make the molded on sunglasses. I mean, that's a decision that Hasbro's making with Dreadnought Torch, which now I'm like, man, it would have been cool to see what Torch looks like. But with the Rock, we all know what the Rock looks like. Just give us a molded on sunglasses look, because those sunglasses look like they're too big over his ears or something like it. It looks really real goofy. Like, I mean, look at the left image. I mean, would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, that's always been the case with the sunglasses, so, yeah, that would be a cool idea. And then they're really re-releasing the Target exclusive Batista figure from the Legends line, but this time in blue trunks. He's got different accents on his boots. They're silver this time instead of red, so I think it's a cool figure. It's another one, like, I dig that they're trying to do something different, at least, giving you a different, or a repaint instead of what you got exactly, that red and white tights from before.
Hmm. Yeah, it's almost like a chase in a way, but it's coming out as regular, so you won't have to go too crazy with it. And these are these mainline? Like, can you buy them from everywhere, or
I would
what's the
imagine so,
distribution?
since they're greatest hits. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, we've speaking of great or best of, and now we're taking a look at the greatest hits elites figures that are coming out. And I'm glad that this is a wave of 4. And honestly, I have next to zero interest in any of these figures.
Mhm.
The
I'm gonna
Randy
take a different take than you, so I can't wait to rebut, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, just running through real quick the lineup, it's Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio, and Hulk Hogan. On the flip side, I would have liked this to be a re-release of the previous Elite figure, just with the plus ups, and instead it's more of a black and silver Randy Orton that we hadn't. I don't
Right.
think they've ever released this figure before. I think it's totally new.
Mhm. Yeah, it's cool, and there's been many opportunities for me to get this one, and I just didn't. But that at the time when this was coming out, I was just like, I only need like one of everything. But now I'm so deep down the rabbit hole. Now I'm like, well, I need a backlash look. I need a Survivor Series look where it's just, guys, shut this off before you spend too much money.
It So it was the Elite 90 figure. Yeah, I
Oh,
mixed it up
90.
on our
Oh,
sheet
okay,
here,
cool.
and
Here we
that
go.
was originally a white and, like, red, orangish look on the tights, and I think they even got, like, the wrong wording on the back of the tights, so it had a reason for a re-release, and I think that they could have, done, just the plus up on it, and it would have been nice. But no, they've gone a different direction. So I mean, it's kind of, I go back and forth on it. It's like sometimes I like that they do the upgrade, and then sometimes
Right.
I like when they do a completely new attire. So it's a mixed bag for me.
Gotcha. Cool. This one is one like if I see on sale, maybe, but I'm pretty cool with the current Randy's I have. But the fact that I did skip 90 kind of makes me feel like, oh, maybe I will grab this one, but I'm not like dying for it.
Yeah, and then this AJ Styles, they completely gave him, it looks like a new torso that was on a, it was an elite, I can't remember which wave. It's in the hundreds. So it was like the new torso that everybody freaked out about, the Sin Cara torso. So they've upgraded that, and then it looks like he's got thicker thighs. So, and this used to be or was the Elite 74 figure. So, I don't think that there was anything that really was knockout about this figure and needed to be re-released, to be honest with you.
Well, I'm a big AJ Styles fan. I don't collect all his figures. I think the Ultimate AJ is like, man, that's just the essential one. But now, he's changed his look in the current day, obviously, in the match that we saw. He's had kind of like Judgment Day gear, which is kind of interesting, to
Yeah.
be honest, with the purple. I wonder if that's a sign of things to come with him and Finn. But getting back to this, I like the lime green look on it with the other, with the regular green on the shirt. And I think it bounces off pretty nice. It's pretty toyetic, and I could use another AJ. I guess if I'm gonna have 2 and 3 of many characters, and AJ is one of my all-time greats, this might be one, greatest hits right there. The name is said. Maybe I'll pick it up.
Yeah, and then the Rey Mysterio, I think, is probably the best figure in the wave, but it's
Oh,
from a
absolutely.
sort of like a throwaway match at WrestleMania that was extremely short, I think in the seconds with Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Oh,
And I
but
think
this is
he's
like,
what's
oh yeah,
the
no, go ahead.
Marvel or DC character that he is?
Oh yeah, well, I is it a DC character? Because I was like, this is like a Cobra La Rey Mysterio. But yeah, is it a DC character? It looks like what's his
Like
name from
Krang?
Definitely Mysterio for sure. I mean, Mysterio as Mysterio would make sense, wouldn't it?
because I dig this one, man. This is a toy right here. This is a toy.
Yeah. Well, and rounding out this wave is a Hulk Hogan, so we're finally getting Hulk Hogan.
Finally, man, it's about
To
time.
steal
But
that bad joke, but yeah, like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
the,
yeah.
like, super, like, I don't know if this is an exact one-to-one with the Survivor Series figure, which didn't come out that long ago. So, you're already, like, pulling from something that was fairly new, and then, yeah, he's, like, got that super, like, bug-eyed, maybe coked out look.
Yeah. But the crazy thing is like when you think of Hulk Hogan, this is the Hulk Hogan you think of, like peak Hulk. When you think of Hulkamania, I should say, right? Like this is the Hasbro, right? This is the classic
Yeah.
Hasbro. It's like the number one or his number two look, and he's like this one, right? Isn't this the one that was like? I mean,
This
this
is the body slam one,
the
like
body slam one,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. That one at least because you weren't stuck in this position walking around
yeah,
like the other one. But
just
yeah,
bear
this is,
hugging
I
or
mean,
flexing.
yeah, yeah. This is like the essential. If you just want one Hulkamania, it's got the wing title that everyone loves and wants back, and maybe even Cody wants back, and the tearaway Hulk rule shirt. I mean, this is it. This is a greatest hit, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you can't. There's no denying it.
So another wave that was sort of a surprise was this next championship series wave with The Undertaker, Jimmy Uso, and Jey Uso. And the Usos are in all white, which has been one of the most desired attires for them. So you can see them spreading this out. Again, wish it were in ultimates, or not ultimates, but elites at least. And then a classic WWF champion, Undertaker, with the Winged Eagle championship. So I ran into, not this wave, but one of the earlier waves at a Kohl's store recently.
Yep. That's if anyone knows why it's going to Kohl's, it would be me. I'm the one presenting it to Kohl's.
Yeah.
Can't give that information out before it comes out, of course, but I think this is a great get for a store like Kohl's. It's got the great packaging for, if a random collector just stumbles upon it, buying, linen for his wife or something, and he's like, "Oh man, this is a cool retro card." And then for a kid, you get the belt. I mean, it's cool. I like that the main event really adds some spice. It never said basic, but it just had the basic WWE logo. So now, and it says champions on the left. I think the packaging is gorgeous. I think the price point is good for a Kohl's, and they're getting the value with the title, and now the added articulation. It's, I'm not a super fan of this scan. He looks like I don't know, like a lead singer of some 80s hair band metal or something like that. But I mean, it would have been nice to maybe get these in a 2-pack, but if it's going to Kohl's, you got to keep that price down, right? So like the 14, 15, 16. I think
10,
these are on,
who
yeah.
knows?
Well, I
Yeah.
think at beginning, these are with the title, these are going to be 16, 17 bucks at a Kohl's, but it's still affordable for mom to buy her kids. And the Usos are popular. I mean, this is, again, a little dated or whatever, but for kids, it's not dated. For
Yeah.
collectors it is. And it comes with a title. At least, it's not two Usos and one title. That was
Yeah.
like one of the things at Toy Fair. I'm like, how? And they're like, well, it's cost. I'm like, but they're a tag team. Were they going to fight over the one title? I think they listened to that feedback and sold them separately with a title. So
Yeah, they've released a tag title with that Mankind and Kane that we talked about in main event showdown 18. So it
Mhm.
just won championship belt in that pack. So it's kind of befuddling, but
Right.
they showed a bunch of photos this week, and I only want to briefly touch on, they showed Elite 110 with Pretty Deadly, Rhea Ripley, Bruno Sammartino, Pete Dunne, Austin Theory, and Roman Reigns. We'd already seen these, so like there's not much more to say about those at this point. Just more studio shots of them. So, but cool that we're getting these figures. I imagine they're going to hit ringside at any time. Like they got to be coming soon, right?
Yep. And then here's a look at the comparing the chase. Bruno, not a fan of that face. He looks like he's like I don't know what he's doing. I do like that you are getting a podium, so I think the sales on this is going to be mostly people just wanting that Hall of Fame podium. No offense to obviously one of the goats of wrestling history, but I just think like he's in that era where it's like the collectors of now are not clamoring for this unless they have a reason to. Like there's a rush
I
to
don't know,
get him.
man. There's that territory pack, so they're working the
That,
70s now.
that's it. No, I mean I'm glad they are.
Mhm.
They're reaching new avenues, they're expanding the lore. This is the winner for me with the
Oh yeah,
build and
Rhea
the longer
Ripley is
hair
by
and yeah.
far the best figure in
Yeah.
this set, by
Right, and
far.
I'm not usually a big fan of, like, white outfits or anything, but she kills it with just, like, the leggings with the tats underneath, it's a little older title, but it still looks great on her, like, awesome, amazing face sculpt, and just the build, like, again, the build is the key for a woman, like, getting a new buck on the woman, and she looks both sexy and strong. This is what you want out of a world champion, so, yeah, just kinda scan through, and actually, I hate Austin Theory, but I gotta give them credit. I don't know if I'll buy it. I might get it on clearance if I ever see it, but that face scan, that's one of the best. They went from one of the worst face scans on a current elite figure to one of the best.
Yeah, I think they really improved the face, and I mean, it was sorry, kind of a low bar to work off of. That yeah, USA gear was really kind of bad. I
Oh,
mean,
horrible.
the gear was good. The head sculpts were just there were some really not great ones in there, and I get the selfie one that was fine. And then you're showing Roman Reigns, and I don't know, like the championship belt is new. I think that some folks have said the head is new, and I can barely see like the difference in it. So, like maybe I'm not working hard enough to see it.
Yeah, I saw it at the Mattel store, and even with my employee discount, I still didn't get it. But if it
Yeah,
had this title, I mean, look at the plates, right, and everything. So that's the problem is you can't give this to Cody,
yeah. I mean,
because
you
it's got
can.
the
He
Roman.
he won
You
it
could,
from
yeah,
him.
you can hide it.
So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, well,
Y
I mean, when he won the title, it had the plates, so it worked.
Yeah, that's true for that one night.
Yeah, and then you've got the Monday Night Wars elites. We'd seen photos of the figures loose before, but we hadn't seen them in package. And I think this Eddie it's really nice. I'm very excited about this, and also the
Actually, oh,
Mankind.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'll comment on this, Eddie. So on a podcast we had Steve on in the past, and this is one of the ones I wanted the most because of Halloween Havoc. And then I talked to him personally, and this isn't any kind of leak or anything, so he wouldn't mind. But I was like, oh, Monday Night Wars, but this isn't, because we were talking about the Halloween Havoc Ray, and he's like, well, that's not a Monday Night War because that was only at Halloween Havoc. And I was like, well, the Eddie, and he goes, oh, but he wore the gear on Nitro or whatever, Thunder or whatever it is. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense then that you would even, it's iconic for Halloween Havoc, but he still wore this on TV.
Yeah, I gotta ask him about that logic because I would think that the pay-per-views would be fair game because they happened during the war, and it sounds like they are being strict about keeping it to the actual, like, Raw or Nitro shows, which I mean,
Great,
that's
great question to ask him.
fine, but I don't know why that they don't consider pay-per-views during that period part of the war.
Cool. And then just quickly on Mankind, yeah, I think the unmasked face is very silly. I'm interested to see how it comes in hand, but love all the stuff with him, and the articulation will be fun. So you get the Mr. Sacco, and the removable mask is a cool edge, and yeah, he's got the round title and everything like that. So yeah, looking forward to this Mankind. I think Mankind and Eddie, it's a very strong set, much like Roddy and Brett. We don't need to. Well, I mean, I think you're showing off the Brett in a minute, right? So
Yeah, and I
yeah,
keep seeing those figures, so I think that there's hope. There's a little more hope than there was before. So, yeah, this main event
absolutely.
wave 148 with Cena, the "You Can't See Me" version, they're finally doing the see-through Cena, which I think is kinda cool. And then there's Carmelo Anthony, or not Camaro
Carmelo Anthony, baby.
Carmelo Hayes. Yeah, I
Knicks and Nuggets.
can't imagine where he would have got his name from, and then Roddy Piper.
Right. Yeah. So the Cena, like I said, I'm not doing main event, but when you do something like this, I mean, even if they do eventually come out, I mean, I don't have like super high hopes it's going to be an elite or anything like that, but I'm willing to shell out the $15 for this. And I think we still don't know. Like I was trying to ask John what the chase was, but I guess is it just the normal figure without
Yeah,
the
it's with
yeah.
green. It's the green. It's
Oh yeah,
just a
we did see it.
regular
It's
finger.
right
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
actually. Oh, there's my I answered my you
yep,
answered, but then I have it right in front of me. I
yeah.
totally we were trying to figure it out, and I think he was just kind of busting my chops, and but there it is.
I mean, the man's selling a lot of figures, so he may not
Yeah, yeah.
remember. And then,
Yeah, he
yeah,
may not remember, yeah.
it's got Hulk Hogan in it and Caden Carter, and yeah, again, Caden Carter sold out at ringside.
Well, yeah. It's crazy. Is it why is that? I'm kind of afraid to ask any
I don't
kind of
know.
like
It's first
creepy
time in
reason.
I don't know. It's first time in the line figures. So, I saw this with B-Fab. I saw this with Gigi and JC Jane. And then I think there was somebody else out there that had a similar run. So I don't know what it is. Like you're getting a first time in the line figure. I don't know if they make fewer of the women basics or main events. I don't know. But I mean, I maybe it's a good question for Steve as to, why these, women in the sets keep selling out. Oh, Tiffany Stratton. That was the one.
Nailed it. Okay, and then we got these.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people this is the retro wave of their choice at this point, which is the WWE Superstars line. I think that that's really taking over as sort of the retro line of choice. And this kind of hits on all the, main generations of the past outside of Ruthless Aggression. So, Golden Era, Big Boss Man, Attitude Era, Kurt Angle, New Generation, Tatanka. So, covering a lot of bases.
Yeah, I would say this. If I wasn't collecting Elite and Ultimate Edition or wrestling figures in general, these superstars would be the wrestling figure of my choice because they're fun and they're a great callback to yesteryear. Yet they have added articulation plus the cloth goods and everything. I think it's one of the best just toys, period. But unfortunately, I'm so down the rabbit hole with Elites and Ultimates and some of the other stuff we're going to talk about that I can't do these, unfortunately.
And Walmart hates you and they've banned you from the store, so it makes
Actually,
it
I was
extra
able
hard.
to. Hey, look, it's May the 4th. We're talking wrestling. May the 4th be with you, my friend. And I was able to pre-order nice and early this morning a couple of things from Walmart. As long as I use PayPal, they're shipping to my house. I had to have a email conversation with them or something, and I'm no longer banned. But if I use the same credit card, it kind of flags
Oh,
my old ban days. So that's the deal there.
and then another s
Speaking of big
yeah.
box retailer.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting into these store exclusives, and this is gonna be a Target exclusive. It's the WWE Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover. You've got Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Roman Reigns as the first 3.
Yep, and these are fun. I know the turtles are crossing over into everything. They have that latitude, but these have no reason being this good. And these have gotten a great response on our social media channels, on a Toy Kind of Mood, and like our YouTube community and everything. Like you'd be surprised. And I think this is the winner here. No, to no surprise, this is the winner here of the three because it's Shredder, right? It's Roman and Shredder together.
Yeah, and then future waves, you're gonna get Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and Rey Mysterio.
True, but what I did hear back from people who like them all, I mean, look, you get the figure stand there. That's a nice touch, right? And you're getting in a regular priced figure, at least we hope. And the thing is, this does look like ring gear. It's like not like the Motu WWE where it's like some, fantasy contraption. This is actually just like they're wrestlers, with
I
just the gear and stuff.
When this set hits, I will not be surprised if Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are wearing this attire, essentially. There I will not be surprised at all because they already do this, they've done it with Mortal Kombat. I'm sure there are other things out there that they've done it with, so, yeah, I would
Mhm.
look for them to be actually wearing this very soon. So,
Are
and
fun. I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick up these at retail prices, and these are gonna go fast. Like anything that hits Target, like we've seen with the Yokozuna and some of the Legends, they go fast for the first week, but then like they'll end up just being like warming. Like remember those Power Ranger Ninja Turtles? Like those things went so fast, and then you can't get rid of them. They're at Ross and Ollie's. So
wow. Well, we've got some other news finally, other than WWE, and that's that Power Town has delayed the Matt Cardona and Brian Myers figures. They're going to hit in September. They were due, I guess, in the first quarter of this year, but yeah, they are delayed, and you're going to get a coin if you pre-ordered them. So, I guess that's the consolation prize.
better than nothing.
Hey,
I love these figures, but the scale throws me off. But what's up?
yeah, well, I was just gonna say, I will be flipping that coin on eBay, so it's kinda nice to have something come in the pack that I can flip and maybe get a few bucks back.
There you go. Can't blame them. And I love your honesty on a wrestling figure kind of news. We're not hiding our true feelings here.
Yeah. Well, and then this week, Jazwares also started shipping the Young Bucks, or by the time you listen to this, it'll be last week, but the Young Bucks and Bryan Danielson. So, yeah, you haven't even opened them yet, huh?
No, I did, but I figured since you had them, there's another thing I was going to discuss with you, but we were too busy watching Backlash and having breakfast and taking showers and doing normal grown things among other stuff. But I figured since you opened them, I was just going to do like one of these kind of deals on the show to see the packaging, the deluxe vault packaging. Do you
Yeah.
have these loose in hand next to you?
I don't have the Bucks because I had to send my Bucks back because they
Oh, that's right.
didn't
Okay, well,
yeah, they didn't paint Matt's face all the way, so they will
did they
be
paint
sending me a
mine?
new one, I hope.
Did they paint mine?
I can't tell, so I don't
Let
have
me
that great of eyesight, so
let's see. Let's do full screen real quick. Looks like they did.
nice.
Cool. But yeah, I love these. They're much better scans. I know Matt on the right is a better scan, but at least Nick, that's young Nick, so I don't hate it. And you're not gonna call him Nicholas and Matthew. These are when they were kids, but the shirt, that's an essential Young Buck shirt, killing the business, and they've come to own that moniker and everything. But I love the gear, love the shirts, love the packaging. I'm a mega Bucks fan, and I finally bought a Young Bucks because they were decent enough to buy. I've always hated the scans that we've had in the past.
So I think having said what I said about this having issues with it, the attire is much better than it looks in any of the photos you'll see, even on the Jazwares Vault site. It doesn't do it justice. It's this like glimmering, like greenish, dark green look. I think that it's well worth purchasing. Like I totally flipped on that. And then the Bryan Danielson is just a phenomenal figure. Just absolutely love the Ring of Honor Bryan Danielson American Dragon figure.
Yep, this is what I was shooting for. You have it unboxed, and I'm gonna unbox it. So it kind of gives everyone a little bit of duality. But this packaging, man, I know you were talking on Nick Storm's Fig Fridays about it, but yeah, I mean, you talked about the figure itself, but this packaging is just, I'm a big fan of deluxe packaging, Comic-Con packaging, premiere exclusive packaging, and this is one of my favorite packaging lines of the year.
Mel Coleman does amazing work with the art there, and all credit to her for just making this first wave of figures feel special. Like even that much more special. And I think that Jazwares does such a nice job with packaging, but this does have a premium feel to it.
Yep. And then, man, I love both scans. And I think I saw that both uh, you and some of the other critics like the long hair, but I actually really like the short hair look. It's different for Brian. It's early career. He did have both, which is cool. I like, our friend Trey called the long hair Dave Grohl, but I like the short hair scan, and it looks great with the hood and everything. This soft goods cloak is amazing, and the new microphone and everything. I mean, this is definitely a runner up. I mean, the torso is an issue. Can you show yours?
Well, I've swapped mine. So like
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let me show the swap.
I gave it a
Yeah,
MJF torso. So yeah,
yeah,
I
that's
plussed
great.
it up to with the Dan Turnquist Ring of Honor Championship. So I'm very pleased with this figure. I think that it's just
Mhm.
extremely nice.
So where is among your suplex wallet kind of mood on the segment, where does Danielson rank number one in all your pickups for the week, would you say?
Oh god. May, maybe third behind
Oh
Cody.
wow, oh yeah, because Cody. Yeah, let's talk. You want to talk about the Ultimate Cody real quick, like a little more than we did?
Just it's such an upgrade over the Mattel Creations figure, and I had to buy two of them, one for with jacket, one for without jacket, and I don't know that that's a trend that I like, is buying multiple ultimates at this point.
Yeah. No, I'm happy with the one, but I do love how like his body is, it's weird to talk about, I guess, but he's got the perfect like torso and the butterflies. Like watching, I opened this while we were actually watching the match. I hadn't opened it, I've just been crazy busy with work, but I was opening it, watching the Cody AJ match. I was like, dude, this is like 101 on the bod. I mean, they really got it. We give them a hard time with torsos, but yeah, just like how tremendous this is. I'm excited to go further deeper
Yeah.
into that one. So yeah, that's probably number one. Danielson too. What do you have this one yet? 10, is it 109? Get the numbers messed up.
I do. I got it a few weeks back, and so I've got the old legs, and it looks like you've got the updated. So that's
Do
another.
I have the
Yeah,
running change?
I think
Oh
you've got the
wow.
running change.
So I did get this, shout out to Alex who made the post on this, Alex West Collects, but yeah, I got this from Fanatics, which is basically the WWE shop. So I guess that was and a lot of the comments, it was the WWE shop version. So I guess the Fanatics is
Hmm.
the version, but yeah, loving the chair. It reclines. That's the coolest thing. And yeah, this is silly. He's on the microphone and headset, but I think even my buddy Steve was like, yeah, he's so great that he's doing both at the same time. Like he's announcing and talking to the fans in the arena. But yeah, I love this Cody. So is this a much different? Like, were you able to sit it in the chair, and does it just looks better
It
this way?
looks way
Or
better. Like, it's much
wow,
cleaner. Yeah, the
okay.
articulation's much cleaner.
Whoa, there he goes. He went for a digger.
Yeah, my second
And then,
was the Monday Night Wars Bret Hart.
oh
So,
yeah, oh yeah. So did you notice the shiny glasses?
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, because I think they've seen all the custom people and they were sick of it. See, I don't know if you could see in the package, but you got it in hand.
Yeah, there's loose.
Yeah. So these face scans are horrific, but we have so many Bretts that you still got to grab them, forget the face scans, mix and match, or get a custom or something like that. But the all black attack got the classic title. But yeah, I haven't opened it yet. But did you get Roddy?
I did. I got him a few weeks ago. Yep.
Okay, yeah, same. Yeah, no, I got these like 2 weeks ago and I haven't opened them yet. But I'm happy that I got Monday Night War Walmart, thanks to the Mattel store, because but like you said, these are all over Walmarts now, right?
Yep.
They're not that
Yeah.
hard to get.
I was surprised that I keep seeing him out in the wild.
And then the last one I want to show is I did a review on this, so
Yokozuna. So you've got the regular edition. I think that that's the one to get, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get the chase. I did try. I went to a couple stores and I did like the two buy two, go to the store, pick up, and they just kept giving me these. I didn't have the luck that it seemed everyone else had. But if so many people had them, it doesn't seem like they're gonna be that hard to get, or maybe they're all gone now. I don't know. What's your
Yeah.
take on the chase?
I it's just not a memorable attire for me. So, I kind of wish they would have done the white and black or something else. And I don't even know that he's got that many more looks other than those three. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
not a
So
lot to pull
I
from.
So I would say, yeah, I mean, Yokozuna won or Cody won, and then Danielson either two or three. Those are my three. You got something else to show?
Yep, I've got the Chase Nakamura. So, I'm not going to take
Ooh.
off his robe yet, but yeah, I think that it just looks so good. I can't wait to pair it with a Muda figure.
Oh yeah.
Since
I can't wait to discuss Muda with you. What was that?
Yeah, that's the retirement match look.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah,
then
that is true.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about this face scan, man, but I picked him up because we've got a lot coming, as we know. We got the definitive edition. We've got the defining moments. We got an ultimate. We're gonna get a lot of head scans that we could just swap out for this one. I know there's a basic one right now too that
Yep.
everyone's swapping out. But I mean, I was like, well, this is kind of like his first. Is this his first appearance?
It
Like
in
again
the elite line it is, yeah.
in the elite line, but yeah, I don't know. I just red's a good look. It pops. I might as well get the first one and can always do a head swap later. But what's your take on the Logan?
I think it's a good figure. I think if you missed out on the Mattel Creations figure, then this is a really nice consolation prize. Plus, you're getting the Prime bottle, and while it's not exactly a perfect 1-to-1 match with the Prime bottle, it's pretty
It's
nice.
close.
Yeah,
It's close.
and
It's
then
it's pretty close.
soft goods looks nice. So
Mhm.
I think that it's a cool figure, and I've seen a
Yeah.
lot of those out there now. And this was
Yep.
the final thing that I was going to show off was the
Nice.
Target exclusive Revolution, pay-per-view series Brian Danielson from Revolution 2022, I think it was. So I'll do a Busaiku knee, but
Nice.
overjacked, new head sculpt. So at least they're throwing new twists in there. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's a solid Danielson if you missed out on any of the other ones.
Not bad. Yeah, I'm very happy with the American Dragon one we got right now. But I think that's his likeness from Ring of Honor is his best likeness so far in Jazwares.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I really do like the previous two. So like the regular edition, I think it was an unmat I can't remember off the top of my head. I just wrote it down not
Just
long
check
ago.
your website,
Yeah, no kidding.
wrestlingfigurenews.com.
That's the perfect way of doing it, or Wrestling DeLorean 85 on Instagram. So we got our
There you
plugs
go.
in.
We got our plugs in it. And speaking of plugs, I'll just get a couple before I'll let you sign off on the pod. I did a Monday Night War Series 2 review last week, and there's got some humor in there because I still don't have the Teddy Long torso. I met up with everybody from Mattel for dinner, and I was like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna bring me the torso." They're like, "Bro, we cannot find this damn torso in all of Mattel. They were like,
Wow.
but they said Walmart's starting to stack up. I know Kevin Nash is all the scalpers are getting him right now, but maybe, down the line I'll run into one at Mattel store, or someone will be nice enough to send a torso to me. I said I'd buy it. I said I'd pay for it. So if you're listening to this or watching this, reach out at a toy kind of mood and hit me up, and I'll either buy, or you can gift me and I'll pay the shipping of a torso if you're not going to use it. If you just wanted the Nash, that'd be very helpful. But also reviewed Yoko that I mentioned, and then did an Ultimate Edition Rey Mysterio a few weeks ago. I was able to grab this at the Mattel store. But our social medias are right here, buddy. You want to talk about yours?
Wrestling DeLorean 85, where I post some of the side-by-side pics of figures that I've picked up and tried to do some comparison shots, and a little bit of figure photography every now and again if I want to get the ring out or whatever. But yeah, mostly just trying to drive people toward this podcast, and also showing off some of the figures and comparisons. And that way people can see, what the Ultimate Cody looks like next to the Supreme AEW Cody, and, the new Danielson Ring of Honor figure next to the Target exclusive, and things like that.
Yep. And I do love, man, your followership definitely has skyrocketed from where it was. And it's all the work you're putting in with not only the news, but the consistency of the podcast every week. But I love the reviews that you're doing because, there's so many YouTubers with reviews. There's countless ones. I recently just stumbled upon some early stuff. So finally, thank you all for checking out. If you're a wrestling figure fan only and not into other stuff, and mostly wrestling figures, and you've stumbled upon my stuff on a toy kind of mood. Thank you so much, because I've gotten some early stuff and that gets the algorithm going. So hopefully I can continue my rankings. But on your end, I'm loving your comparisons. Like you could see right there in a little bit of the art images, but I love your little mini Instagram reviews. They're easy to look at on the go. You don't have to watch a whole video. You don't have to listen to anything. And you got like star ratings, which I'm always a big fan when people review things and actually give them ratings. Like instead of, here's my review, but I'm afraid to give it like a 3 because I want something for free or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I like that. I like the honesty, and I think that's why we make a good team. And then you want to talk about your podcast, the audio version that maybe people are listening to they can if they're watching the video and they want to check out your audio.
Yep, just available on all popular podcast platforms. Wrestling Figure News Podcast. Pretty easy.
Pretty easy. And then quickly, if you're listening to this, but you want to watch us with all the slides as well, or just check out other reviews and content, you could check us out at A Toy Kind of Mood, and we're growing. And thanks to a mega interview we just did with Hasbro, and hopefully we'll get a mega interview with WWE Mattel down the line. But I think you might have news on that, or maybe you don't. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I don't want to tease anything before it happens, to be honest with you, but I think that we got a big interview coming up very soon. Very soon. So
Sounds amazing. I'll let you sign off, man. Thanks so much for doing episode 1. I thought it went pretty well.
yeah, well, thanks for doing this, Travis, and thanks to everybody for listening. Please like, rate, review, and subscribe. A 5-star review is always appreciated, and we'll be back next week.